for back to school. For parents against it, how to opt out for your child.
Plus, as cases of kids getting COVID are rising all over the nation, but it's particularly bad here in Florida as school starts tomorrow. We'll show you those numbers.
And as students get ready to head back to class, local teachers say they're focused on way more than just grades and test scores. We're going to hear from them.
You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
All right, here we go. Last day of summer vacation for a lot of kids in our area. Back to school begins tomorrow for most of our counties. For many kids, it's a return to in-person learning.
Enjoy it while you can this last day. Good morning, everyone. At the same time here, we're facing another coronavirus surge and more kids getting the virus.
One district in our area already has reversed its course on masks. We're going to get to that in a bit. But first, we start with weather. Here's meteorologist Lauren Lesky tracking some showers this morning.
That's right. A little bit of rain coming on shore for us to start off the Monday. Not too bad. It's moving onshore pretty quickly, and the showers are very light. Little rain in northern Palm Beach County. A couple showers right now coming through Boca, moving into West Delray. Most of us this morning are waking up dry, although it is very humid outside, so it feels a lot worse outside in terms of the heat index. It feels like 90 degrees right now in West Palm Beach. It is a humid one. What we're looking at here now, this is the hour by hour for Wellington with your temperature and your heat index. So at 9, your temperature is 84, but it feels like 93. By 11, you're 88 degrees, but it's going to feel like 98 degrees. So really hot, really sticky outside again for us. We don't really deal with a whole lot of changes day to day, especially this time of year, but everyone's temperatures today are headed to about 90 degrees. Matt, Ashley?
All right, Lauren, taking a look right now on our roads. On-time traffic, Delray Beach, just fine. No problems there on 95 or the Turnpike. How about our traffic tracker on the road here on a Monday morning? And Gary is rolling along just fine on southbound Australian Avenue in West Palm Beach. We're not seeing any problems in our area at this hour.
And time right now, 6:01. The 10th largest district in the nation reverses its rules on masks. Starting tomorrow, masks will now be required in Palm Beach County schools, but parents still have the option to opt out with a signed note.
And the district previously said it strongly encouraged masks after the governor threatened to cut funding if districts went against his executive order. But a new move from the State Board of Education is allowing the district to make this change.
We have back to school team coverage for you all morning long, from mental health services for students to the rise in pediatric cases.
Let's begin here, though, with Terry Hornstein. She's following that major reversal on masks. So, Terry, what led to this decision?
Hey, good morning, Matt and Ashley. You know, these have been an item of contention really since the pandemic began, and school starts tomorrow in Palm Beach County, so this really came down to the wire. Now, originally, all students in Palm Beach County public schools had the option whether or not they wanted to wear the masks, and that's because the governor signed that executive order prohibiting mask mandates within schools. But with cases surging in our state, the interim superintendent says that just isn't the case anymore. Students and staff will have to wear masks in all buildings and while on buses. Parents can opt out by signing a letter and sending it with their child to class. Emergency rules were also put in place by the State Board of Education, one regarding student attendance and homework if a student has to quarantine. The other deals with vouchers to private schools if parents feel their students are being bullied because they decide for their student that they don't want them to wear a mask. Many parents oppose these new mask rules, one parent even putting together a form letter for parents to sign.
Immediately when I heard that they wanted to mandate masks, but there was an option of opt-out, I wanted to be able to make available for parents a draft letter. And it also states that children cannot be punished, harassed, or treated any other less than another child because they do not participate in the mandates.
The interim superintendent, Mike Burke, well, he says he made this decision after consulting with a lot of pediatricians in our area and really across the country. He says those pediatricians are worried now with this surge about the safety of the students. So many districts across Florida now weighing the options about masks just days before that first bell rings. Matt and Ashley.
All right, Terry, and all of our local school districts start class this week, and you can see Palm Beach County is the only school district in our area requiring masks. But as Terry just told you, parents can get around that with a letter having their kids opt out, and masks are optional in all other school districts.
This is a big issue right now because a rise in pediatric cases is a huge concern for parents.
Yeah, children in Florida seeing the worst of it here as that Delta variant sweeps through our state. Sam's at the COVID alert desk now. So, Sam, what are the trends with kids and COVID right now?
Matt and Ashley, cases and hospitalizations are soaring right now. 1 in 5 new COVID cases in the last week of July were kids. And here in Florida, children's hospitals and staff are overwhelmed. They say they've never seen numbers like this before. And it's not just in Florida. COVID cases in children are rising nationwide with more than 71,000 reported last week. That's an 86% jump from the week before. Health experts say the more contagious Delta variant is behind the rise in pediatric cases. And as the debate over masking in schools continues to heat up and our students head back to class the next several days, the CDC is projecting COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths are likely to increase over the next month.
We're really concerned with the Delta variant taking control, that we're going to see a substantial increase over the next few weeks, with school reopenings being a major catalyst.
Health experts say if you have a child that's eligible for a vaccine, get them vaccinated. Otherwise, their best defense is a mask and social distancing when possible. And right now you can see the entire U.S. is red hot with COVID spread, but health officials say the Delta surge is dire in the southeast, including Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky, where hospitalizations jumped 50% in a week. On Saturday, nearly 14,000 people were hospitalized with COVID-19 right here in Florida. Ashley.
All right, Sam, 6:05 back to school certainly comes with stress for most families, especially for kids who haven't been in actual classrooms in more than a year. That's why teachers and counselors are working to make the transition from quarantine to the classroom as easy as possible. I want to go to our Madeline Montgomery now. She's at Jensen Beach High School reporting. So, Maddie, what kind of training have teachers and counselors been through to help with any of this anxiety?
Ashley, they've been getting ready for the students that are returning to campus in 2 days, and some kids haven't been here to Jensen Beach High School in over a year. So a teacher I've been speaking with says that his colleagues and counselors at the school are focusing on patience and communication. The Martin County School District has actually teamed up with a local mental health service, Tyson Teens, to do specific training to accommodate students. The group encourages an open line of communication between students, teachers, and parents. History teacher Tony Farrow told me he's actually prioritizing his students' mental health and comfort before academics in the first few weeks of school.
Just having that basic knowledge that it is going to be uncomfortable for certain kids to come back to school. So if they need to speak to a guidance counselor, we can make that happen.
Mr. Farrow says he will also speak with kids before or after school if they need it. And he says for the most part, students and teachers are excited to get back to the classroom and to their extracurriculars. And again, kids will be on campus here on Wednesday. Reporting in Stuart, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
All right, Maddie, 6:07. I want to talk more about the resources set up to support students with their mental health. Palm Beach County has a website, Matt, they want all parents to see. You have it pulled up. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, the district has received millions of dollars from the federal government to help kids' mental health. It's pretty easy to find out how you as a parent can make the most of it. This right here is the Caring First page on the Palm Beach County School District website, and it's pretty helpful. Here, when you go to Caring First, right at the top, you can find the word search, and this is where you could find any sort of issue that your child might have a problem with. There's attendance, foster care, social emotional learning. Let's pick bullying prevention. So when you click bullying prevention here in the middle, you can find there's a bullying hotline. There's all sorts of different resources, other different links you can use, and even someone with the district and a phone number that you can call if there are any problems. So bookmark this site. You never know, of course, when you might need it. You can find a link to it right now on our website, cbs12.com. Just click on newscast links.
6:08. In recent weeks leading up to this new school year, there's been a growing demand for alternative learning. Some parents tell CBS 12 News they aren't sure what to expect at brick and mortar schools, especially now that remote learning is no longer an option. So there's a place called Space of Mind in Delray Beach with a unique approach to homeschooling. Gives parents the resources to teach their children from home, or they can take their kids to a campus to follow the same curriculum but in a smaller classroom. CEO Allie Kaufman says the goal is to give families more flexibility.
We've actually added some new programs for homeschoolers that are not coming full-time here, but are looking for drop-ins once a week after school, working with private coaching. We've also added curriculum development and licensing for pods and for parents who want to homeschool but don't really want to do it all themselves.
And as CBS 12 News has been reporting, learning pods became really popular at the start of the pandemic. They're small groups of kids led by an instructor either at home or from an office space.
Well, 6:09, and right now we're learning more about the steps being taken to keep kids safe in Martin County schools. Starting Wednesday, district plans to use high-tech software on buses to keep track of who would need to quarantine if a student tests positive for COVID. Students will just swipe an ID card before they sit down on the bus. This is going to create a virtual seating chart that'll help the district do contact tracing. In the chart, you can see who the child was sitting next to and how long they've been on the bus. Before this technology, the director of safety and security tells CBS 12 News they would have had to quarantine a whole bus of kids if there was a COVID scare.
Would be the difference between putting maybe 4 people in quarantine rather than 70 people that were on the bus. So the kids won't lose any instruction time.
And that is important since there's not going to be any virtual learning. So if a kid gets sick or has to stay home, they'll be given makeup work to catch up. Palm Beach County does not have this technology, but they do have assigned seats on the buses to help with contact tracing.
Well, we're getting you ready for your Monday, and one cruise line just landed a big win. The new ruling from a judge and what it means for your health if you plan to set sail anytime soon.
And our kids will start learning about society and government way earlier than ever before. Next, I'll tell you about the changes to the way our kids learn civics that start this week. It's coming up in 5 minutes.